What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to beautiful sunny Reno, Nevada, and welcome to the highly anticipated part 2 video, the first flight with our new glass panel in the Beechcraft Bonanza here.
We're gonna take her up, do some approaches, make sure she's doing everything that she should, allow me a chance to learn the system taught by the best here, the man himself who installed it. It should be very educational for myself to see it in action, and hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Heck yeah. Calum, you ready to go?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you've flown it how many times?
8 or 10 hours. I was getting a bit carried away. It's such a nice plane to fly. By the end, I was just chasing perfection, just making teeny tiny tweaks here and there, but she's as close to perfection as humanly possible.
As if it just rolled off the Beechcraft showroom floor in 2023, except it's from 1988, but nobody would know that because everything is modernized. New paint, new interior, new glass. This is as good as it gets. All right, Jay, unfortunately, we only have 4 seats.
Yep, I'll watch this part of the video myself.
Yeah, right? Oh, can you get a takeoff of us? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Let's load on in. I will miss having the 6 seats and the barn doors in the A36 that we took up here earlier this morning. But hey, this is still pretty roomy back here, not gonna lie. Even at 6'6", I fit pretty well. In the back, check this out.
Scoot it up. Scoot yourself back.
Oh, and I'm scooted up. Yeah, all the way back. You have plenty of leg room, more than a lot of cars. So this is not bad at all. The beautiful interior done by Ron Matta, Aviation Creations in Phoenix, Arizona. Call them up if you guys want your interior done. But the focus of today's video is that new glass setup. Out in the sun, you can now see more of that carbon fiber effect. It was a little hard in the shade, but it is gorgeous. So Owen, you've never flown a setup quite like this. You've obviously flown with some Avidyne units, but not the Dynon setup.
This will be a first for me, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. Okie dokie, so now we've got the engine started and all the avionics on. With the Avidynes, first things first that I personally like to do, I always like to check, just make sure that we're getting full GPS integrity. Alright. So we can do this by doing the aux button, then under the system tab, SYS, we can scroll through these different pages here. As we've seen before, it shows you a different software version that we're on, make sure all our databases are current, and this is our GPS page. So you can see here we've got full FDE nav, which is basically, you know, WAS integrity. Okay. Since we do have 2 different antennas, I check it on both. We've got full satellite signals on both units. Cool. And we can see there we've already got ADS-B traffic coming in from those planes landing there.
I really like the clarity of the intercom is already really good.
Yeah, it's just crystal clear.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can just set your volume here. We've got volume for the pilot, volume for the co-pilot, and then the passengers in the back are on their own one as well. So you just set your volume and away we go. The Dynon system, we can run through all our checklists. So we've already done the engine start, so we've got available to us, we've got pre-taxi and taxi checks that we can do before we get going. First things first, since we're at an international airport, I'm going to grab our ATIS and then grab the clearance. Go for it. Super duper simple. 540 and 550. You've got this dedicated frequency button. It's my favorite button on the whole thing. Press that. It knows we're at Reno International, so it brings out the list of frequencies that we need.
Yeah.
There's my ATIS right at the top. I can either press enter or I can tap on the screen. It splits into the standby frequency.
Yeah.
And I can either flip-flop it, or because we've got the Avidyne audio panel, I can use the monitor button, so you can listen to both the active and the standby frequencies at the same time on both radios. So technically you could listen to 4 frequencies if you wanted.
Wow.
Reno Tahoe Airport ATIS information call.
Now we've got our ATIS. So part of the ATIS, we've got our barrel pressure setting.
Okay.
So you'll see the knob panel up above the PFD there. So we've got 3 things. We've got heading, we've got barrel and altitude. So on the barrel, you can just adjust that to, so we've got 3011.
Ooh, okay.
There we go. Okay, so now I need to tune into clearance. So again, frequency button, clearance, double tap. There's our clearance. I'll flip-flop that. And I'll also monitor ground, just because here is the same person that does the clearances, does the ground. Reno clearance, this is Bonanza November 62 Julia Romeo, looking for VFR clearance up to the Pyramid Lake practice area, aircraft type Foxtrot 33 Alpha.
Bonanza 62 Juliet Romeo, Reno clearance, maintain VFR, departure frequency 126.3, squawk 5305.
Remain VFR, departure frequency 126.3 and squawk 5305, November 62 Juliet Romeo.
Bonanza 62 Juliet Romeo, read back by confirmation, golf is current.
Hey, from we have golf, Juliet Romeo. So we'll set our squawk code in the Avidyne. So 2 pushes, 1 and 2. Transponder, so we'll put in 5305.
Okay.
05. And there we go. And just X out of there. It'll automatically change from ground into air based on our GPS airspeed.
All right. Can I pre-select an altitude?
You can. So you can use the
Oh, that's right.
altitude pre-select bug, and at the top of the altimeter
There we
tape
go.
there, go over to ground, and I'm going to pre-tune our tower frequency.
All right.
And then when we get down to the end, we'll do our run-up, and then I'll have the departure frequency pre-tuned as well. On the PFD, we've got synthetic vision there.
Yep.
These little objects here, that's your traffic. So it depicts these flying along. We can also see it in a 2D form there.
Yeah.
We've also got it on both the Avidyne IFD550 and 440 as well.
4 times redundancy.
Absolutely, it is fantastic.
Love it.
Now we're outside and we've got GPS on the Avidynes. We've also got the 3D synthetic vision mode available on the IFD550. We've got our synthetic vision for terrain, and we've also got ADS-B in traffic as well. And we've got our attitude display, and this is taking in information from the Dynon as well.
Wow.
It's just a fantastic system. Which device would you like to pull up our airport taxi map?
Ooh. How about on this?
Okay. So if you press the info button on the bottom shelf, so if you press the PLT tab for pilot tab, there's airport diagram, just press view at the bottom. There you go. So we've got our little airplane symbol there, geo-referenced.
How about that?
Other little identifiers like the tower that's right outside us here. I think we're about ready to taxi.
I'm ready.
If you are, run up.
All right, all ground
Okay,
golf, pushing
there you
back
go.
our
Take it away.
discretion. Skywest
All right, so
3511.
brakes are set. Fuel looks good. We're on the left tank. Pilot is disconnected. That's set. I'm going to do a flight control check. That's all good. Instruments all good. Aero set. Air 0. I'm going to do a run-up.
Skywest 3511 for flow. Release for departure 12 minutes after the top of the hour.
Everything's in the green.
Takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 17 left, 62 Julie runway.
All right, power set.
Airspeed is live.
Rear ground, Skyhawk 292 Echo Delta.
In the Gulfstream, at least the G4, the airspeed tape is backwards. So when you're accelerating, it's going down.
Oh, that's weird.
So that's all I've been used to the past like 2.5 weeks and years. So seeing this is like, wait a minute.
Guys, it is running smooth as butter. All the temps are great. It's a lot easier to read them now versus the old horrible
look at
engine
that.
monitor.
Yep. And as soon as you start to get out with the green, it'll light up yellow, it'll go bolder in font. If you ever get into the red, then you'll get a flashing cast message down there as well. And you'll also get an audio warning as well, cylinder head temperature or oil temperature or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. On the old engine monitor, you wouldn't get any of that.
So flying around here, we're making full use of all our situational awareness.
Totally.
On the 550 at the moment, I'm just using the standard SVS mode, so we can still see the terrain.
Yep.
If we get down below the terrain, it'll still paint this up all red and yellow. We've got our traffic and everything coming in there.
Traffic and boom.
Yep, and there's our little traffic there. You've got the little green bubble, which is your total velocity meter. A couple of interesting little bits on here since we're flying along. The autopilot engaged, so we're on GPSS mode.
Yep.
So it's getting fed from the 550 here into the autopilot.
All right.
And we're also got altitude hold mode, and we're just about 9,500 feet. And you can see we're flying through the highway in the sky boxes.
That's awesome.
Also, since we have the information in the GPS here, you now have all this information available to you on the side of the PFD as well.
That's super helpful. Can we load the GPS to Silver Springs and start heading that direction, just in the interest of fuel?
Okay,
and stuff?
so I'll do a demo on the FMS here.
All right.
So at the moment we're heading to this little airport here, but we don't actually want to go there.
Right.
Press down here, or I can use a knob here. I could just scroll the cursor down there, press enter. I want to do a waypoint.
Yeah.
So our waypoint, we want Kilo Sierra Papa Zulu. It gets the last letter because it's intelligent. It can guess pretty much accurately most of the time where you're intending going. So we want that. Let's press enter. So that is now loaded in our FMS.
Okay.
But we want to do the LPV approach.
Right.
So just one button, procedure. Approach is into there. We've got just one. But it's also got visual approaches, so, you know, if you're on a nice VFR day and you just want something for advisory, you can load a visual approach, but we want the actual approach. So RNAV 24. And well, let's do the full one via Hazen.
Yep.
There we go, so we're all loaded. And as you'll see here, it's also preloaded all the missed approach.
Wow.
So that comes in handy. now I want to start our transition over to Silver Springs. So I just tap the next leg, and I want to activate that leg. Activate leg.
Ooh.
Activate. And now the autopilot's going to start turning us.
Bam.
But yeah, this is glorious Pyramid Lake that we're flying over.
Alright, this is fun.
Okay, so we're now heading towards Silver Springs, 36.8 miles away from the Hazen VOR. That's the initial approach fix there. And also give us an ETA to there as well. So we want to start just getting prepared for there in terms of frequencies and everything like that. We could easily do it through the Avidyne stuff. I'll just show you how we can do it in the Dynon system. So if I press the nearest button, it'll give me a list of all the different nearest airports and everything like that. Let me scroll down to KSPZ. So I can click on that. So that starts giving us our airport information there. Under the COM tab here, there's not very many frequencies to choose from here, but they do have an ALOS. So the way that we have it set up here, when I press Tune COM, it'll spit the frequency in there. Manually dial in a frequency like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can press the check mark and that'll spit it over there as well.
Wow.
Or you can tap on the Avidyne here, or again I can press the frequency here, or they also have the nearest button as well. You just got so many different ways that you can start doing this stuff. Or I can do it on the keyboard.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, we are now 9.5 miles to Hazen, which is the initial approach fix for the RNAV approach into Silver Springs.
One other question, for fuel, does it show usable remaining? Like, has it already, that's usable 10 and 8, or do we have to minus the 3 each side?
That's usable.
Okay, so it already takes it out.
Yeah.
So when we fill it up completely, it should show 37, 74 usable.
Yes, so far we burned 9.1 gallons on this trip so far.
Can we activate Zeekum?
Okay, alright, let's go into the FMS. So let's go down here to Zeekum. Now we're on our way to Zutza. We have LPV coming in here, so on the pilot's PFD, we now have our vertical. Owen is now nailing it.
Back on my course here.
Yep, we're now half a mile from Zutza, so there will be a course change to 236. There we go. We're now on our final course to runway 24 at Silver Springs. You can see it coming up in the distance there. It's saying we are 5.5 miles to the runway. Silver Springs traffic, Blue Bonanza 62 Juliet Romeo. We're 5 miles on runway 24. This will be a full stop landing.
Leaving altitude.
Were we within speed, no beeps at yet?
We're within speed, so now we've got 3 down and green. Flaps are at 15 degrees. And the Avidyne is all primed for any missed approach in case we need to go around, and is able to automatically sequence the missed approach because we have barrel corrected altitude coming in from the Dynon system. So as soon as you get past that missed approach point, it'll just automatically sequence.
1,000.
Wow. Nice. Does this have a flight director option?
It will when the autopilot comes out.
Gotcha.
And around there on the screen, you'll see yellow and red start to come as we get down towards the altitude of the terrain. You'll also see it here on both the Avidyne systems. You can also see on the 3D synthetic vision mode on the Avidyne 550 here, we also got lateral and vertical guidance here as well, with our little total velocity meter coming in as well. That's really cool.
And one of my other favorite features, it shows you what the winds are doing. So we have
a right crosswind.
Right crosswind at 5 knots. I love that. So you know if you're getting a tailwind or a headwind, and you can pick and choose your altitudes on cross countries to maximize your speed.
Yep. Shows our true airspeed as well.
Yeah, I was getting 165 true out of this when I was flying it.
Perfect.
A little rocket machine.
400.
Yeah, alright, here we go.
I don't know if you can hear in the headsets, the Avidyne is counting down, is giving us altitude call-outs. 1,000, 500, 300, 200, 100.
300.
That's 300 feet there.
200.
200 feet.
Boom.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right, filling her up. I gotta say, coming from the Citation, really anything that burns 100 low lead is a drop in the bucket now.
Even after the A36 makes these 40-gallon tanks seem small.
This is a decent deal, $5.99. $5 would be ideal, but around here, we're still saving $2 from Reno, so we'll take it. Obviously, I'm joking a little bit. It still hurts the bank account to throw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in the fuel tanks, but hey, that's a lot of smiles per gallon. Okay, the Zeiss senders were right on the money, so that's a great sign.
The Dynon screen's on its own battery. So if you press and hold that furthest left button, so that screen will start booting up off its own backup battery. So that means that everything is then loaded up. So the moment that you turn your battery master on, you're ready to start the engine. Okay, so with the battery master on, so the Zeiss fuel senders, they've now got voltage out to them. So I've got the Avidyne IFD app loaded up here, so we are connected with the IFD550. So it's got everything from our flight plan loaded up in there. We've got all our frequencies available. We've got all our waypoint information available. Since we're connected to the 550, I can have either synthetic vision displaying on the iPad, or I can have that 3D AHRS view as well.
Dang,
I can also split screen it as well, so I can have a flight management system on the bottom and attitude on the top.
So in case we didn't have enough glass, just stick that on the dash to have some more.
I mean, again, this can be great for a backseat passenger or something like that, or a co-pilot.
Juliet Romeo traffic, 1 o'clock and 2 miles southeastbound, Cherokee 7500.
62 Juliet Romeo, looking for traffic. In the UK, we don't say that looking for traffic thing.
Yeah.
It's just a
radar
advisory. If you look to the right there, those warehouses off to the right, that is Tesla and Panasonic. That is the Gigafactory.
2 Juliet Romeo, contact Reno Tower 118.7.
Over to Tower 18762 Juliet Romeo. Reno Tower, November 62 Juliet Romeo is with you.
62 Juliet Romeo, Reno Tower, extend downwind, I'll call your base, your bleed number 2.
Downwind, and you'll call our base, 62 Juliet Romeo. So, yeah, if you like the look of what we've done here and you're an avionics engineer, even an A&P mechanic, we at Advanced Aviation Reno, we are actually hiring. If you've got general aviation experience, we would love to talk to you. So give me a call or drop me an email.
Call them up if you want to work for them, or if you want to support them by getting your own panel done. They'll be linked down below, as always. We're number 2 in line to land, and we'll be on the ground momentarily. We'll get Jay in the passenger seat, get his impression real quick, and then zoom over to Sacramento, where we have a flight to catch in an hour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
It was amazing.
so much.
We will be back.
Okay, guys, inbound to Sacramento. Jay, first impressions, what do you think?
It is, I mean, it's speechless, honestly. It's a gorgeous panel for both practicality and, of course, aesthetically. So, has my approval.
All right, it's got Jay's approval. Well, guys, we can't thank you enough for watching.
What a busy day it's been, and it's not even over yet. We just called ahead for Sacramento International because Jeffrey and mine and Jay's flights are home out of there. And with March Madness going on, there's a $1,000 landing fee, so we're kind of screwed.
We got to go to a different airport. $1,000 to drop off 3 people. That's ridiculous. So now we're going to where?
Watts, Woodland Watts.
And now we're cutting it super duper close.
Got a busy next hour to catch our flight, but then Owen's throwing it back in the hangar at Reed Hillview, and it'll be to Arizona soon, so we'll catch a vlog then. But thank you guys for watching. I didn't mention yet, but comment down below your opinion on the new panel. I'm sure you were already loving it in the first video, but now that you've seen it in action, Callum describing just some of the capabilities, you know, what do you think? Is it worth the money? Do you guys like the route that we picked with the Avidyne and Dynon setup? Should we have done anything differently? Not that we could literally do like anything else. We about did it all. The question is, should we do this with one of our other planes? It's pretty tempting to give Callum and team the next airplane to do it all again, but we'll see. Maybe the Citation, do some glass upgrades with Avidyne. We're not too sure, but we'll see in future videos. So be sure to follow the channel so you don't miss those videos, and be sure to follow Jay's new Instagram. He just dropped his flying page.
That Pilot J.
Easy enough. I'll put the @ right here. Search it up on Instagram, give him a follow. He's posting some awesome reels, great flying content. So if you're into that, give him a follow. You won't be disappointed. And you're about to get your commercial, right? You're waiting on your check ride?
Yep, yeah, just down in Scottsdale to finish up training. So hopefully things finish fairly soon.
It's so nice to have our baby back. It's been, what, 6-7 months without it, so.
Yeah, it's due for an annual. Dang it.
I know.
We just got it back. Now it's due for an annual.
Radar service terminated.
Well, I'll enjoy it for now, and yeah, so satisfied with the work of Callum and Advanced Aviation Reno. Knocked it out of the park. I expected nothing less, and they certainly delivered, so.
And can't wait to bring another one too.
Well, a big shout out to how cool he was today picking it up, how in depth he went in his review both on the ground and the flight.
Oh yeah.
Showing everything.
He really caught us up to speed nicely. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next video with 62 Juliet Romeo. It'll be up in no time. First flight, somewhere fun. We'll go get a $100 hamburger and put more of this to the
There
test.
we go.
Thank you guys for watching. See you later.
Heck yeah.
All right, see you, Owen. Let's go catch our flight.